Hey, Noel.
Hey, Rosebud.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm sitting here talking with you on a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Ernest Hemingway once said that the hardest part of being an adult is having to keep going. Even when you feel completely broken inside. Life doesn't just pause because we're tired or heartbroken or struggling. It keeps moving. So today, we're going to unpack that. But first, we're going to throw in some 90s nostalgia. We're going to get deep with each other. We're going to have some fun with it. But I really want to get really in to my Hemingway side tonight.
I love that. Well, I think this is the most appropriate time to do that because I think everybody in some way or another is going through it. I think the world is going through it. I think
it's been a
we're all just going through it, right? Yeah, well, I mean,
It's been a week.
But just in general, it's been a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, maybe. And to the Do We Have to crew, thank you so much for joining us in this wonderful world of Do We Have to, a marriage podcast. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Emily.
This is not Actual Family Studios production. Executive producer, Colin Schmedium Maskell.
We were so close last time to not doing this medium, and then I brought it up, and then we did this medium, and I really thought he would get a break.
I think Colin, whether he realizes it, maybe he doesn't even realize it himself, but maybe he understands this, that he would not be Colin without the Schmedium, and Schmedium would not be Colin without the Maskell. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
But no, and Do We Have to crew, thank you so much for joining us. And as Emily had mentioned, we got a heck of a show tonight. Getting back to 90s nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'm not used to you being the one that does that.
I know.
I liked it. It actually sounded really good.
Well, we've been on the struggle bus, so might as well break it down.
I like it.
Make everybody climb aboard with us.
That's exactly right. So let's jump right into 90s nostalgia, right?
Okay.
Let's loosen things up before Hemingway bums us all out and we kind of get more deep into that quote and kind of the overall topic for the evening.
Yeah.
And we're going to get back to the greatest decade of all. The 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When your jeans were too baggy, your CDs skipped if you looked at them the wrong way, and your parents were screaming at you to get off the phone so they could use the internet.
Or vice versa.
I'm enjoying these hooks we're finding and creating for this 90s nostalgia. It makes me want to go back even more.
I don't know if I'd want to go back all the way. But.
And if this is your first time listening to the show, Emily and I, on a weekly basis, we like to go back to the time where we were children, the time a lot of our listeners were children. We're babies of the 80s, children of the 90s. And we like to dive into the week that we are going to be presenting the show. So specifically this week is September 20th through 26th.
Yeah.
A lot of fun gems in this one.
Not
ones
really.
That Emily...
Here's the thing about 90s nostalgia. Sean knows basically everything there is to know. He's like an elephant. He never forgets anything. I am a goldfish. I forget it the second it happens. And clearly, I have forgotten most of my childhood because I don't remember over half of what we bring up. I don't
know if that's necessarily true. I think that you just didn't do a lot of this stuff.
No.
But I was very much like I fell into what was happening in pop culture at the time.
No.
And so that tended to reside with the things that people, when they look back, it kind of resonates, right? I don't know. Yeah. 1996. And this was September 9th when it was released technically, but it was the number one game by the time this week happened in 1990s. Crash Bandicoot. You remember Crash Bandicoot?
I remember just a couple of years ago when Crash Bandicoot came into our home and our children played it.
You know what's interesting is I didn't even really get into it. It's funny you say that because you're right. Crash Bandicoot became more of a big thing recently because they put a new game out. You actually played it. The new one. Yeah. Well, me, you, and
Did
Shane
I die instantly?
No, we beat it together as a family. That's the new one. Now, the original one, this was Sony PlayStation's way of competing for Nintendo Super Mario Brothers, and then for Sega Genesis Sonic. This was like their, and the difference is it wasn't a 2D scroller. It was kind of an up and down horizontal.
Yeah, that we jump a lot.
More 3D as opposed to 2D. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's a fun storyline where this evil scientist is going after the Bandicoot and the Bandicoot has to get there.
It sounds just like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, I guess it's true, isn't it? It is very Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's literally the same
the
thing.
storyline's not the exact same, but it is. You're right. It is within the same vein.
It's the same thing.
So I guess Mario is still its own thing, you know?
I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, Sony marketed Crash as the mascot rival to Mario and Sonic, as I just had mentioned. Even had him trash talking Nintendo and TV ads outside their HQ. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But he wore jorts, though. That's the best part. So Sonic had the shoes. Mario had the overalls. Crash Bandicoot had the jorts.
And then
They were
John
jean
Cena took
shorts.
him.
That's right, yeah. Ooh. Wow. Good correlation to that, yeah. He had jorts before John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Around 1993, around this time, a couple days later, Power Rangers were exploding.
Yeah. Never saw those either.
Listen to this, though. Fall of 1993, so around this time this week, it was the #1 kids show, at least live action. It was pulling in nearly 5 million kids a day before school because it would be on at like 6:30 or 7. Usually it was 6:30 in the morning.
I
think that's when I watched at least in Missouri, in Kansas City. It was
That's when my
6:30.
parents had the news on.
Well, Platte City, I should say. It would be on like before we'd go to school. And I think bus stop was around 7:20. So this happened like at 6:30 to 7.
Yeah, no.
Solid. And listen to this. So one of the big things, you know, parent groups tried to ban it for being too violent, especially too violent for a morning show.
Sounds about right.
Which, guess what that did? Only made kids want to watch it even more. So
I bet. Mm-hmm.
if your mom told you not to watch it, guess what you were doing? You were
No.
probably 100% trying to watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Nope, I wasn't watching it, but I have seen the originals that you have shown our children, and they are mind-numbingly stupid. Like
I think it's like one of those things that's so bad it's fun to watch.
No, I feel myself getting brain cells are dying when I watch it. And that one evil person,
Rita,
and her
Repulsa.
voice, like she's not even speaking the same language that's being like voiced over.
No, you're saying her lips aren't moving too.
It's so
They did have a
annoying.
voice actress come in. From my understanding, they had a voice actress come in and do the voice, and then they had the actress doing it. So yeah, the lip movement doesn't always match up.
And the little like the acting is awful. The camera is awful. Oh God, I cannot stand
here's
it.
the best part. You've only watched like probably the first like 4 episodes of the first season, and then you kind of like stop watching it.
Yeah, I can't.
Wait till they get into the drama of the Green Ranger. And I highly recommend for anybody who has not watched Power Rangers, you can go out to Netflix, shout out Netflix. They have the whole series on there, at least the original series. And I'm sure they have some of these spin-off shows or continuations of the show, because there's not just the Power Rangers, and there's Turbo Rangers, Time Traveler Rangers, Dino Rangers, all bunches of shit. But the original one was the OG. It was dope. And when they get to the Green Ranger shit with Tommy, and then the sexual tension between him and the Pink Ranger, which we didn't even know when we were kids, that was sexual tension.
What?
But there was like the will they, won't they get together, and there's like definite tension there. Highly recommend. You can watch it as an adult. Get a 6-pack. Get your person you're close with. Get your buddies together.
You know what it is?
Watch that show.
It's like Saved by the Bell with superheroes.
Fuck yes. I can't even set it mind blown.
They all
couldn't even have said it better myself.
They
That's
all
exactly
hang out
what
in
it
like
is.
the school cafeteria, and they're all like, oh, and it's just like, no.
It is.
And they
Saved
have
by
the
the
same
Bells.
2 bully kids that always like picked on. No, it's ridiculous.
It's Saved by the Bell meets Avengers meets Friends.
Okay, I can't.
That was dope. I none of that information's on here. You just came up with that, and I like it 10 million times more than what was actually written here.
Well, you're
I
welcome.
want to keep talking about Power Rangers. I want to do a whole episode now on just Power
Apparently,
Rangers.
the later in the evening we do this, the more on my
You're
game
in
I
tune
am.
with 90s nostalgia. If we do, we just got to do the show at 10 o'clock at night after we get the kids to bed.
There we go.
That's it. Okay. How about this one? 1995 on September 22nd, 7 opened.
No, I don't know this one.
7. Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, is this the
serial
hotel
killer
one?
movie. Nope.
No.
Don't like that you said that. This is the detective, kind of noirish, but like very dark and gritty detective movie with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, where Morgan Freeman's like almost at the end of his career cop, very classic story arc back in the day, right? Just like Lethal Weapon. And then Brad Pitt's the young, brashy, like, fuck you, I know what I'm doing more than you, I'm smarter than you kind of attitude thing. And they together are doing this case, which is the 7 Deadly Sins killer. And this guy starts killing people. And every time he kills them, he puts on a big display and it is associated with one of the 7 deadly sins. So like the first one's like gluttony, and they kill a big old fat guy and basically made him eat himself to death.
Ew.
And then one was greed, where I don't remember what he did with the greed. Don't want to tell you what he did with the lust one. You ain't going to like it, Emily.
Probably not.
I highly recommend, though. You've not seen that movie?
No.
Will you watch that with me? You would like it. Brad Pitt looks very fuckable. He's like in the most fuckable Brad Pitt mode. He's what I mean is you will find him very attractive.
When is there not
fantastic.
a moment that Brad Pitt hasn't been attractive?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like young, unbridled, raw, passionate Brad Pitt. Like very like just beginning of like the highest peak. It's not even the peak of his career, but like he's starting to go up to the peak of his career. And he's super, super attractive.
Okay. Well,
Just a couple years off the Thelma and Louise.
I don't know that either.
He was Thelma and Louise. Thelma and Louise.
I know what Thelma and Louise is, but I've not seen that movie.
I think he was a love interest in that movie, like a small part.
I don't know.
Anyway, so grossed $13 million opening weekend, went on to make $327 million for a fucking detective drama. That's how good that movie is.
Well, it says that it was the date night movie that could end in therapy.
Well, it definitely was. Well,
Sounds real great.
Gwyneth Paltrow, so Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow were like newlyweds in the movie. And like when I say newlyweds, they were a young married couple. And I think it was right to the point where they were getting ready to start to have a family, just where the movie ends up going and how it ends. Because, by the way, there is an alternate ending. So that's the thing about the movie is the movie itself, the ending that they did wasn't originally what was planned.
Oh.
And so, yeah. And I highly recommend, I'd be curious to see, Do We Have To Crew? We have a wonderful website. It's called dowehavto.com. If you've seen 7, if you know what the alternate ending is, tell me which one you would prefer. Would you have preferred the original ending, or would you have preferred the ending where Morgan Freeman kills the bad guy at the end?
You just gave it away.
Well, I only gave the alternate ending away. I didn't give the actual theatrical ending away. So you tell me, dowehavto.com or reach out to us on one of our shorts. You can actually reach out to us on YouTube. This wonderful podcast episode that we're going over today is going to be, the video is going to be distributed there, youtube.com/@dowehavto marriage podcast.
Yeah.
1997, this week, top song in the world, not specifically in the U.S., not specifically the U.K., in the world overall, is Elton John's Candle in the Wind. Like
Princess
a candle in the wind.
No,
Remember that
don't.
song?
Yeah, I do.
Did it sound anything like Elton?
No.
Shout out, Elton. Sorry, I did not mean to butcher your song. Obviously.
Every time, like, there's not a moment when you hear that song that you don't immediately just go like through scroll of like stills of Princess Diana.
And it was, I remember when they did that live. Did he sing this song at her, like, wasn't like her funeral, but it was like the televised portion of the funeral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sang that song.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good
I mean,
song.
he sang it live all over the place when that happened.
Right. Yeah.
Every chance he got.
Sold 33 million copies worldwide. Now, you love The Crown, and I know I've got you some books that match like the actual historical accuracy of like, hey, this is actually what happening during when The Crown was made. And I think they have 2 books to that.
Yeah, and Minnie destroyed them when we locked her in our bedroom one day.
Was Elton John and her friends? That's why he came with it. Okay, I didn't know. I mean, obviously she was a very popular figure in Europe. So my assumption is that Elton John and her crossed paths, obviously, because they all both resided in England. And
if I do remember correctly, isn't he Sir Elton John?
He is, but that's associated with the Queen. It has nothing to do with Princess Diana as far as why he got that title. But with her being pro-humanitarian, my assumption was she was also pro-LGBTQ, which that term didn't even exist back then. But Elton John being a gay man, I assume that they would have gotten along together very well.
Yeah.
So you think they were out playing crochet out in the yard of Buckingham Palace every once in a while? Obviously she was ostracized.
I don't know.
Yeah, the now King of England, shout out to the King Charles, he fucked up there. I think he should have stuck with
Maybe we shouldn't have shouted him out and then told him, that he fucked up. No,
I'm just saying, I'm mentioning his name, so,
I do believe
he just
Princess Di was
Trump, but
more pretty. Like, she's beautiful.
Well, it's kind of hurtful. It doesn't have anything to do with looks.
No,
she just
but
seemed
I
like
just
she was
feel
the
like-
more substance human being between who he ended up going with and who he left behind.
Yeah, I'm not meaning not just physically, but like personally, like
You were like,
inside
judge
and
the book
outside.
by the cover, everybody.
No,
Judge
but
a book
I don't
by the
really
cover,
know.
y'all.
I don't really know a lot about Queen Camilla. Like, I don't know what she stood for, but because Princess Di is who she is and everything that happened, her life got exploded in. So people have dug deep into her life and what she wanted and what she was doing and like all of her activism and stuff. Nobody's really ever done that.
Can I say what everybody
Yeah.
feels in the heart of hearts?
Yeah. I
You know
can
what
feel it
Camilla
coming.
is?
Yeah.
Camilla is like that. We've all had it. We've all had our best friend who we love more than anything in the whole wide world. We've all, and I've been that person to somebody else, I'm sure. Definitely, because I've had 3 engagements and I've had 1 wife, right? So there's been 2 other people
You're
that
welcome.
probably have been, right? I've been that best friend to somebody else. But I can tell you this from experience. I've dealt with this with Uncle Will. You have that best friend who has a girlfriend where they fucking blow. Right? And it's like, wow, God, I hope this is a temporary thing. I don't want to end up with this for the rest of my life because I'm not leaving my best friend and I don't want to be saddled out with this. Shout out Bunsey. Will's going to die when he hears me say that. Anyway, our show's not that popular. It's not like this is going to get out, but it's going to be a chuckle for Will. Maybe a chuckle for Aunt Ashley, because I joke around with this about her all the time. But Will had a girlfriend in college who, I don't know what it was. She was nice, but I just could not stand, like, it was just the way she was. I just could not vibe with it. And there was one time that I had to sit at the house because Will was going to come, and it was like, I think it was towards the tail end of them kind of dating. And I had to sit at the house with her, and Will didn't want to come back to the house.
Because she was there?
Yes.
Oh
And
my
so I had to
God.
be there for like 3 hours. She just wouldn't leave. And I had to be there for like 3 hours with her. And we literally talked about it. I just played video games and we just sat there.
That's awkward.
I don't know. It's probably going to be one of those things when this comes out that I wish I would have said, but
Probably.
it is. But that's basically how I feel about Camilla, right? I was like, why did we have to do this for forever and then into royalty? You know, like, couldn't have this just been a short-term thing where it was like, you know what? It didn't work out because Muncie's a very nice human being. She's a very sweet girl, very smart too. So it's not a knock on her by any means. Just didn't gel our relationship as being best friend and her being somebody who's dating Will temporarily didn't work out, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't need to become the Queen of England.
Yeah, you know what we should do?
But you know what Charles did? He was like, oh, you know what? This actually doesn't make any sense on paper and not vibing with the country. I'm going to make her the Queen of England.
Yeah.
So.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should slide right into 1998 and get jiggy with it.
There it is. I love Emily. You're a fucking podcast pro, and I love everything about what you're doing right now.
No, I am not.
Absolutely. So in 1998, to Emily's point, in September of this week, this was the #1 hip hop song, and I believe for a couple days of this week, it was the #1 overall song. #1 hip hop song for an extended period of time. #1 song off and on. The single "Getting Jiggy with It." Getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Getting jiggy with it. By September 98, the single had gone platinum. Will was crossing over from music to full Hollywood stardom.
Yeah.
So he was doing, obviously, Men in Black was like the big thing at the time because that was even a song on that album, I'm pretty sure.
He also added the word to, or well, he didn't.
Jiggy
add it,
briefly
he
made the
got it added
Oxford.
to the.
Oh, I didn't realize this. So, fun note on this: the phrase "jiggy" briefly made the Oxford English Dictionary thanks to the song.
Yeah.
So Will Smith
It's
didn't
actually
just
still still in there,
with it.
but yeah.
He put jiggy in the dictionary.
Yeah, it's still a part of the dictionary, yeah.
Yeah. These may be the best podcast notes we've gotten so far of the 38 episodes we've done of this show. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do this going forward. But that's good stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Emily, for allowing us to get deep into the 90s.
Yeah.
And I know what you like next, because we get deep in the 90s. That's my thing. Mm-hmm. You like to get deep into our relationship.
I do.
And you like to allow the Do We Have To crew to get deep with us, because not only do we ask and answer a question from the wonderful card game called Let's Get Deep by a company called Buy Relatable.
Yep.
Which has been featured on the wonderful, wonderful, dramatic docuseries Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah, they do the Friends version.
There's a Friends version. There's this version where it's more about getting to get on a deeper level with your partner. And then there's a Sexy Time version, which you can get on Target or Amazon. 3 types of cards.
Icebreaker, Deep, and Deeper.
That's right. And today we're going to do the most deep, which is the deeper card.
Yeah.
And Emily did you choose a card at random?
I did.
If you're one of the first, if this is your first time being a part of the Do We Have To crew.
I hate this part.
Emily she tries to pick the card to make it most advantageous. And I like to do it by random. So we agreed that we should do it by random. There you go. All right, let's do it.
I don't like surprises, but I did do just a picker-outer. The question we have is, have you changed since being in this relationship? In what way? Yes, I have. And I think in every way.
It's an interesting question just because it really pertains to where you're at in that relationship. So, I mean, if you've been dating somebody for a month, probably not so much, but 13-year marriage or a 2-year relationship, committed relationship, 3-year marriage with an engagement thrown in there. I mean, I feel like it just depends on all the stages of the relationships you've been through and then how long you've been together. But then on top of that, it requires you as a partner to want to grow and continue growing.
Right.
And if that's the goal, like if your goal is I want to be with this person the rest of my life, you have to change, right? Mm-hmm. If you haven't been growing at all, if it's and we've all been around people like, oh, that's just such and such.
Right.
Well, in my opinion, that means that you're just putting up with this person being this person. You're not really growing together, and that person's kind of an asshole, if you ask me. I'm going off on a tangent here. What's your answer?
I think I have changed. I think my foundation has stayed the same.
Yeah, your core.
Yeah, but I think as far as mannerisms, tolerances, hobbies,
I'm 100% agree
friendships,
with you.
like that kind of stuff has changed, but it's also because I've aged.
Yeah.
But I've aged with not just you, but the people we spend our life with. So, and life has happened to us. And so we've just been able to grow and learn. And based on those experiences, we're going to change regardless, just because that's life. But would I say that I changed because of you? No. I've changed with you.
Agreed.
And I'm not saying that to be like in spite of you. It's just,
no.
I think that's one of the best things about being in a relationship is I've always wanted to be in a relationship where the person I was with, I wanted to be a better version of myself for them. That they bring out the good things in myself that I didn't necessarily know how to like bring out on my own. I wanted them to help me do that. And I think that's you, for me. So I think in that way, yeah, I've changed. I've become more confident in who I am as a human being and who I am as a person, and what I have to offer the outside world. But I've done that because I've grown with you as my partner.
I don't think you could answer a Let's Get Deep card any better than what you just did. It was impressive. Can I tell you, though, I will tell you, I completely agree with everything you said. And I will say that, and I know I've said this before, maybe I've said it on this show, but I definitely know I've said it to you, and I definitely have said it in therapy, like after, several years of doing therapy together, like when we were on the other side of everything, and it was more about how do we continue improving ourselves rather than working through issues, which you can continue to use therapy. Therapy is a great tool, and it's not just something you really shouldn't just use it for when a problem happens. Honestly, you should be using it from the get-go to just sharpen the knife and then just make it the best knife that it can. Well, I don't know why it has to be violent.
Therapy is a tool, and everybody has a toolkit, and you just need to have as many tools in there as possible because you never know what one you're going to need. And to me, therapy is my go-to.
I think the fuck thing about this is that I think like if therapy was something where I know the government, like if politicians and the government, I'm not gonna get on political tangents, don't worry. Okay. But if they could make it to where like we have abundance of resources, we print our own money. There's no reason why an American citizen that pays taxes in this fucking country, pays a third of their fucking paycheck at least to taxes, should have access to therapy as a couple and as individuals every single day. This world would be such a better place. And I'm telling you, it's just like fucking flossing your teeth every day. Your mouth is like the gateway to health, like they say, right? The same thing, your mind is the gateway to your longevity of happiness. And you should be doing therapy every day. Everybody should be. It doesn't matter if you have the best, most blessed life ever, or you're fucking, waking up on the side of the fucking road every day. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but to answer the question, sorry, I was talking about you. I just commend you. I completely agree. And I think you've gotten nothing but more and more awesome every single year we've been together.
Same.
And it's insane. I think your change has been much better than mine as far as like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it a bad way. I've changed a ton. Mm-hmm. It's not even.
But I also don't think like there's some of the experiences that we've had. I don't think how anybody couldn't change.
Well, I mean, that's not true because, I mean, people we're not special. I think people go through the same experiences we've gone through with kids, with our near getting a divorce, our issues with mental health. Everybody goes through that. And there's people that take accountability for their actions and they move forward and they try to grow and learn from it. And they say, the 5-6 things here, I'm doing it my way and I need to do it the right way. And the right way takes work. Either start trying to, not saying it's perfect, but if you're doing that and you're moving towards it, you do become a better person. And not only are you a better person for yourself, but then naturally by law of attraction, people like being around you more. People like what you're doing more. You're conquering things together more. I don't know. But I think it's a conscious choice. And I just think majority of people just don't make the choice to try to be better because it's fucking work.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that today. I was, today, right? Let's talk about today really quick. And I don't want to make the Let's Get Deep segment too long, but let's talk about today. Think about us 3 years ago or 4 years ago. You're at 300 pounds. I'm at 400 pounds. Let's talk about the day, right? We're running Papa Ron back and forth for appointments. You and I are dealing with rental car bullshit because Papa Ron's car's fucked up. Then we got to go get kids. We're trying really hard to make sure that the kids are getting not only the support from a school perspective, but from a physical health perspective. So Papa Ron's appointment's running long. You're working at the dance studio to help pay for Maeve's dance, which is insanely expensive, but wonderful. We love the dance. And we love watching Maeve dance. So, but the kids Seamus and Tegan are there, right? Mm-hmm. We've got an hour before Seamus has to be at football practice. Shout out Necco Raiders. And what do? Run Dad home. We get 30 minutes. I'm going to pick you up. We're going to go get a workout in at the Y. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be 20-minute workout. Do you fucking think we would have done that 4 years ago?
No.
Nope. Today would have been a wash. We're going to do the bare minimum of what
we would have gone through the drive-through for dinner.
We're going to be frustrated with each other. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Make dinners, lunches. Yeah, absolutely. Not only is things gotten harder, but because of the shift of our mindsets the shift of our physical output, we take on twice as much and we deal with it 10 million times better than what we would have dealt with. And so the challenges haven't changed. Matter of fact, they've gotten worse. But yet we're doing much better. We're a lot happier than what we would have been before. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad we've changed. But yeah, we have absolutely changed. And I think if you're going to be in a committed long-term relationship, which you certainly don't have to be, but no matter what, you're going to be in a committed relationship, whether it's friendships, your family, whatever, even if you don't choose to go into marriage or have a long-term committed relationship, you have long-term relationships. And if you're not improving, you're not growing, you're affecting those.
Yeah. I think that card actually has a lot to do with what we were going to talk about today.
It really, it absolutely does.
You know,
I probably spoiled some of that. I'm sorry. There's
a part of adulthood that nobody really talks to you about. Nobody really shares. And it's a pretty harsh one, but,
I would love, could we do the full, because it is a long quote.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important. It's really powerful. And anybody who's listening to the show right now, I really want you to take this in, because you're talking about somebody who is, from an author standpoint, from a celebrity standpoint, one of the most successful people during the time that he was alive, saying what he's saying. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter. You could be at the highest of the highs or the lowest of the lows. We all go through the same thing. We're all going through it right now.
Yeah.
The world as it is right now isn't great. And I think everybody's feeling the effects of it. Go for it, Em. Sorry.
Yeah. So Ernest Hemingway's quote states, "The hardest part of being an adult is having to keep going. Even when you feel completely broken inside. It's a truth many of us understand. Life doesn't pause just because we're tired, heartbroken, or struggling. It keeps moving. There is no break for grief, no time out for healing. The world expects us to keep going, even when it's the last thing we want to do. What's worse, no one really warns us about it. As kids, we hear stories where everything works out in the end, where pain has a purpose and happiness always returns. But real life isn't like that. Most of the time, surviving means showing up when you feel like disappearing, smiling through invisible pain, carrying on when your heart feels like it's falling apart. And yet, we do it. We get up, we move forward, step by step. That's what makes us human. Even when everything feels heavy, even when hope seems far away, we still try. And with time, we discover a quiet strength within us. Mm-hmm. We learn to comfort ourselves when no one else does. We become our own support system. Resilience isn't always loud or heroic. Sometimes it's just a quiet whisper that says, keep going. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's unfair. And yes, there are days when it feels like too much. But every step you take, no matter how small, is proof that you haven't given up. You're still here. You're still trying. And that, more than anything, is brave.
Incredibly well said.
So beautiful and so much truth. And it can apply to so many parts of adulthood, parenthood, spousehood. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think let's break it down, right? And so, what's the main crux of what he's saying here? You have this perspective, and I think part of it's the way the world is, and part of it's what your parents, when you were growing up, think. We're all just trying to do the best we can. How you're raised, right? There's this huge shift of what you perceive life is supposed to be and how things are supposed to be as a child, which is if you're doing things the right way, you're not going to go through hardship. You're going to have nothing but happiness. And if you don't do things the right way, well, then you're going to be in a bad way. You're going to feel bad. And it's really just a conscientious choice of that. That's kind of my like, I don't know what, I can't speak for you as how you were raised,
good,
but like, I feel like
bad.
Whether it was school, church, the media, whatever it is, I think that's the fucking story, right? There's this two paths, and it's really based on the choices you make and how you are as a human being. And the people who do well, they don't experience these bad things. So like, I think I had that expectation. So when I was feeling bad or if I was having a bad time, it's like, well, I'm not doing something right. And I know there's a whole I think that was the hardest thing. I think I always had this perspective that there's this whole population of people. There's all these Uncle Collins out there that are just, they don't feel the anxiety. They don't feel the stress. They don't feel the worry. They're not worrying about things that don't matter, but they still have to worry about them. And I'm this broken person. And obviously it's because I'm not doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reality is that you live life for, I don't know, right? What was I say that, and I'm jumping over it. What was your childhood expectation as far as like what we kind of just talked about and what life was going to be?
Kind of the same. I mean, I was blissfully unaware a lot.
What do you mean by that? If you don't mind me, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just curious.
I grew up in a bubble.
Sure. I think a lot of us
One where I chose to stay in, if that makes sense. I didn't want to know about the bad stuff that life happened. Yeah. I liked my little world. I liked my little bubble. And for us growing up, it was, good feeds the good, bad feeds the bad. So if you do good things happen to you. If you do bad things happen to you. It was just always good versus evil. It's like that classic Disney kind of thing. Like the red versus the blue. You always wanted to be the blue.
Right.
It's, but like I knew bad stuff happened, but bad stuff only happened to bad people.
Exactly.
And, I was very naive, but I was naive by choice. And I don't necessarily regret it, and I do kind of at the same time. We have been through a lot of experiences. Death, financial.
Oh, now we're talking about adulthood stuff. Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
Health, parent health, spousal health. I mean,
kids, school.
Things that I've never, ever imagined happening to me.
You didn't imagine them happening because you thought, well, if I do the right things, these are things that won't happen to me and I'm going to be happy and it's going to be a happy path life, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I make good choices every day. Yep. I go to church. I pray to God. I
try to be a good person.
I'm a good
as much
human.
As you can be. Yep. So why are we in the shit?
Live life the way I was taught to live life. And sorry, I don't know why.
All right. Everybody's going through it. And I'm glad that you...
But like, there's a lot of stuff that we have gone through.
Yeah.
And that we're going through.
Right.
That make no sense.
But that's why we're doing this show, though, because there's every couple, every married couple, every parent, every individual right now is going through something where they feel like they're different, unique, or less than because they're going through it and they don't think other people are. And that's why it's really important we're having this conversation, because you're not alone.
No.
We all go through the shit. Ernest Hemingway even said it. Rich, wonderful artist that is timeless. His literature is timeless. People read it still to this day. You fucking have to read it when you go through high school. The man knew his shit. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so important to understand that, is that if you have the understanding that like, it isn't because of who I'm being, is I'm not a bad person, but I'm going to go through bad things. And what's going to define me as who I am as a human being is, it's not just the initial choice that I make, because you're going to make choices that result in failure. It is where you go with it once you realize that. And are you taking accountability for it? Are you growing from it? And then are you making better decisions or overcoming that, right? And I think what really prevents us from doing that is this fucking mindset of like, well, things are going bad. That must mean there's something about me that's bad.
Right.
And that's from
and
kids.
I feel
and
that
it's this fucking world that's doing that to all of us.
It takes me a long time to get out of that mindset of what am I doing wrong? Why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? Why am I being punished? Like, I feel like a lot of what happens to us or things that we're going through are like a form of punishment, you know?
Yeah. Trying to make it more than what it really needs to be. And then on top of it, we're creating this grandiose pile that's being thrown on top of us rather than focusing on what the battle really is, right? Is you deal with these things as they come, but you're dealing with things from probably really more of a daily perspective, right? I guess you should take it on as like a micro battle rather than, oh my God, you know, we're, in credit card debt and we're, you know, I'm spitballing here in general, right? Like we have an issue with a child, we have an issue in our relationship, and like there's these big macro things, and then we're not handling the day to day. When in reality, the way to be resilient is you're getting up every day and you're doing the best that you can every single fucking day. And then the big stuff ends up working out, right?
Yeah.
But it's getting over that mindset though too. There's nothing wrong with you. Everybody, no matter how successful or how unsuccessful, what your upbringing was, whether you came from a good home or you came from a bad home, we still deal with all the same problems. And no matter what, likely we mostly have all the same bad things happen to us.
Yeah. You know, and I kind of looked at this quote and I just kind of sat and I thought on it. And I just kind of, I pictured myself sitting in a pile, like almost like a hill. But then I just saw like all these paper airplanes just flying around.
Interesting.
And it was every little thing that we had going on. Mm-hmm. And it's like everything's still circling, everything's still flying at me, but I'm on top of this other pile of paper airplanes that aren't moving.
Yeah.
And it's like this one got loose and it came back out and it's like smacking and it just keeps going around. Like one goes into the pile and stays still for a while and then another one comes out. And it's like, I'm still just sitting on top of this pile of things that are just trying to fly away. And then I just need to envision like one of those paper airplanes flying away instead of circling. And it's like one by one, that pile, I will reach the ground one by one. But
I like that.
I have all these micro problems and macro problems. And it's like, they're all mixing together.
Well, the micro, creates the macro.
So like I can fix some of the little things, but it doesn't knock out the big plane that I'm still standing on, you know? Or vice versa. Like I can still, so it's like, okay, we have A, B, C, D. B is today's problem, but I'm still dealing with C's from yesterday's, and A is still there from last week. And it's just, you know what I mean?
I do. But I think the thing is like, how do you move forward? I mean, we're having this conversation. There's probably people listening it. There's people listening to it that are in the same situation, in the same boat. And it's like, well, how do I move forward? And you move forward in several different areas. I mean, you really are moving forward by what can you control? So when you wake up tomorrow and it's, we're recording this Wednesday, so tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday, what? September 25th?
5th, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's September 25th. You wake up tomorrow, what can you control on September 25th, right? So you're not worried. I mean, if there's nothing you can control that specifically relates to a macro issue, you compartmentalize it and you don't do anything with that until a point in time. You deal with the micro things that you have to deal with, which is your day to day, and you move forward. And then anything micro that relates to a macro, meaning like, is there something for my finances, there's something I can get together today that I know I can do? Is there somebody I can be meeting with? Is there something I can be doing for my relationship or with my child? Or is something that can overall better that affects the macro? Mm-hmm. Then you fucking do it, right? So that's the one thing, is just the small steps every day, no matter what, even though it fucking sucks, of just moving forward and doing it.
It's hard because you feel like every day the pile just gets taller and taller.
But that's not the case. That's in our mind. And
no, I know.
If we're tackling those small things, no, I'm just saying. So somebody's listening to that, I think that's a response they would have. But that's in our mind. That's what we're creating. If we're banging away at these things and we're doing our day-to-day, that other stuff's going to eventually resolve out. And it might not be a fucking week. It may be years, but it's going to resolve itself out, right?
Yeah.
You do that. So it's a day-to-day. Then it's about who are you bringing around? Like, who are you involving yourself around toxic people? Are you involving yourself around people that whenever you're talking about a problem or you're talking about something that's positive, are they shitting on it? Do they want you to be successful? It's hard actually to find a holistic group of people that, I think that's honestly been probably our most saving grace initially that got us to where we were doing the other things. It was kind of a reversal, right? Where I think it's like, when you're just getting up and you're doing your day. We ended up revolving ourselves around a group of people that kind of helped us set ourselves to a higher standard whether we were doing that day to day. But I think a lot more people can have control over what you're doing in the day to day. And then look at who you're spending your time with. Like, is that something that is benefiting you, or is it something that is holding you back or making the things that you're dealing with or being overwhelmed with worse? And you really do have to surround yourself. And it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It could just be one other person. It could be a small group of people. We tend to entirely worry way too much about what other people think about us. It's not worth our time, effort, or energy.
It's also really hard when you don't feel like you're succeeding in life to cheer for somebody who is. And I think the easy way to feel better about yourself is to not root for them.
Or surround yourself with people that you perceive to be better than slightly. Well, guess what that does? That only puts you around people that are a little lower than you, that you perceive. It's probably not even the reality, but that's what you perceive. And that's the type of people you want to spend your time with and grow. And we've got one fucking life to live, potentially one life to live. And time is really short. Our time is going to be up very soon. You know, I mean, like, that's the reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm 40, you're 39, like whatever the age of a lot of our listeners, I would say the average, at least to YouTube, is between 33 and 45. If you go by the statistics, our last day is going to be coming, right? And so why are we spending it with people that are holding us back or people that don't really truly provide us any happiness? And really, it's not even just that. It should be being around people that make you want to be better. And I think that's a thing a lot of people do the opposite of. And so really be thoughtful and mindful about that, right? Be really, really mindful of that. And then you just need to find, what is your North Star? What's your meaning? Why do you exist? Many episodes ago now at this point, we did, writing a personal mission statement and then a family mission statement. And it's on the archives of dowehavето.com or on youtube.com/@dowehavето, a marriage podcast. It's really understanding where you want to be, where you see yourself going, and then having that vision and fucking going there. And it's that attitude. You're going to sound crazy to a lot of people when you get into that mode, I think, of like, fuck you, it doesn't matter, whatever, what I want to, where I see myself going and where I see myself be. Financial problems, fuck you, I'm gonna work through it. Family issues, fuck it, I'm gonna work. It doesn't matter. Nothing is going to prevent me from doing. You can ping me, you can dent me, you're never gonna beat me. I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna fucking win. Where we were laying in bed 2 nights ago, could you imagine me saying what I was saying? Like when we went through what we went through that day, that night, could you imagine me saying that? I don't want to get deep details of this, but Emily and I went through a really shitty situation. We relied on an institution, a system to provide us support. We were very transparent and partners with that system. And they fucking betrayed us, in my opinion, and did a really shitty job and put us in some shit. But I take account, like for me, we were laying in bed, we were talking about it. I take accountability for that because I allowed us to be in a position to where we had that trust, to where we found ourselves where we were. And we were laying in bed and I was like, yeah, this happened. It's not good. It's not great. We're going to learn from it, but this is not going to stop us, right? Yeah. It's not going to take us down. This is a moment in time. We're going to do what we're supposed to do and it's going to be over with. and we're going to move forward. But it ain't going to fucking beat us. It ain't going to beat me. So why am I going to lay here and stress about it? I mean, I'm mindful of it, but I'm not going to lay here and stress about it like, woe is me, or, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, we got ourselves into it. It's not going to beat us. We're going to get ourselves out of it.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway I had from that was, this is also, I believe, Suicide Awareness Month.
September is?
I think so.
Okay.
And it's so true when it says, it doesn't give time for grief or heartache or, you keep going, you keep moving, you get up and you do it. And you're not done. You're still trying. And I think there are days where if you only go through the motions of life, that's still better than not. And you're still making progress by just waking up and going through the motions. If the only thing you got done for a day was to sit up and brush your teeth, then congratulations. You did it. You survived another day.
Because that can be an accomplishment from where somebody's at. Yeah,
absolutely. And you never, ever know what somebody else is going through. You never, ever know what's behind closed doors. Everything looks great on social media. Nobody's going to talk about their shit. Nobody's going to talk about their hard times. Nobody's going to talk about the way that they just physically, mentally couldn't do anything else but sit on the couch and stare at a TV.
Yeah.
Or when they were so sad and depressed that they could not stay awake for more than an hour or two at a time.
Right.
Nobody knows anything about anybody else at the end of the day, because online we want to be,
you want to paint for sure.
You want to be perfect. You want to be, somebody to get the like. You want to be the thing that you are expected to be online.
Yeah.
And it's just giving each other that grace and just giving each other that moment to just be. I think
you bring up a great point. I think that that's what I think Hemingway was trying to make a point of. If you're doing it the right way and you're doing things and you're giving the full effort, it's going to fucking suck all the time because you're doing things you don't want to be doing despite how you feel and despite how the world's treating you. Yeah. So if you're doing things right, if you feel shitty all the time, but you're getting everything done, you're doing better than most people. So I want to make sure everybody is understanding of that. I'll say it again. If you're doing things the right way, despite of how the world and others are treating you and despite of what's going on in your mind, and it feels shitty, you're doing it probably better than most 95% of people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where honestly, that's where we need to end it. Like if anybody can take away anything of this, if you're getting up every day today and you're still going and you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing and you're doing the best you can do to take care of yourself and the people around you that have hitched their wagon to you or whatever it is, you're doing it better than 95% of people are doing because it fucking sucks. That's the reality of it is that if you're an adult and you want to do things the right way and you want to be the best you can be, even for yourself, mentally, physically, guess what? It takes fucking work. It's getting out of your comfort zone, having conversations, taking accountability for things you don't really feel comfortable taking accountability for.
It's all the hard stuff.
Being physically fit is it's hard. It's painful. It's working out. All those things, it sucks. And so it's a complete opposite of the reality that we've been delivered as a child. Mm-hmm. And it's not because of our parents. It's because of the fucking world. The world says, hey, you do this and this and this. And guess what? Eventually you don't have to work one day and you just get to do nothing. Like that's not happiness, right? No. But that's what we've been fed from the time we were kids. It's like you do this and this and this and you don't have to deal with things anymore. No, that's not living and that's not happiness. Happiness actually is realizing that dealing with things is fucking hard and uncomfortable, but you become better and better and you deal with them better. And then ultimately, eventually all of a sudden you realize I'm not miserable anymore, even though I'm dealing with all this fucking bullshit.
Right.
And I hope you, Emily, I hope you feel that way. oh my God, we're dealing with
Yeah,
these
'cause,
50
like,
fucking things, but I'm not fucking miserable inside about it.
I've had
Right?
to let go of the facade. Does that make sense?
Well, it's not even like it is just being able to deal with shit better. And you're dealing with shit better because you're going through it and you're doing it every day and you're training your mind and your body to deal with these things. And all of a sudden, well, these things aren't actually really things that make me miserable because they just shouldn't have in the first place. It's just life. And we're all going through it.
Yeah. I'm not special because you're
special to me.
Handled more shit than the other person. Like this is the card I was dealt. So this is what we're going to do.
You're special to me, but we're not special as far as like the world and being a human being.
No.
And especially being a fucking adult.
Yeah.
So to do we have to crew, we know we're all going through it.
Yeah.
Hang in there. We'll get through this. But hey, I will say, and Emily, thank you so much for talking about all this. Thank you for reading the wonderful Hemingway quote.
Yeah.
One thing we are trying to do is we are trying to get the Do We Have to crew. We're trying to continue growing our Peloton team so we can all work together and work on our physical health, because if we're working on our physical health and if that's getting to an optimal level, the other shit tends to fall in line, even the mental. And that's scientifically proven, right? And we do have a Peloton team, and usually on a weekly basis, unless Emily and I fuck up, we like to present the activity for that week. There's a weekly challenge to where how much have you worked out as a member of the Do We Have to crew, and we like to celebrate the top 20.
Yeah.
And so, how can they follow us? How can they join our team on Peloton? And then, would you like to do the honors of reading the top 20, or this little matrix box I created, is it too confusing? You want me to do it?
No, I got it.
Okay.
You can find us on YouTube. Do We Have to, a marriage podcast. Our website again is dowehavto.com. Facebook, Instagram, and Threads is at do.we.have.to. And follow us on Peloton at, you can follow Sean at Do We Have to Pod KC, or you can follow me at Emily_in_KC. Join our team and use our hashtag Do We Have to Crew. Our top 20 this week. Number 1 goes to African or
It's a new member too, and and a new member that joined the team ended up winning it.
Yeah,
right off the bat,
they did 20 hours, 22 minutes. Number 2 goes to one of the OGs, Krabby Cakes.
Which, by the way, I used to always say, this is fucked up. I used to always say she was in London.
No, she's from Kansas City.
I don't know why, but I used to say UK. All the time. I don't know where I got that from. So
I don't know that I've ever noticed that.
I think I've done it in almost every episode, so I apologize.
Oh, she clocked in at 19 hours, 54 minutes. Number 3 goes to you, sir, with 17 hours, 36 minutes.
I think it's probably one of my best weeks, and I still can't even crack the top 2.
You know, I'm working hard, but clearly not hard enough. I am like number 31.
I was going to say there's just so many now.
Yeah.
It is very competitive.
Number 4 goes to Brown Eyes 19, who is part of the UK, with 17 hours. Barbie Gal and Casey got 14 hours, 16 minutes. Kelsey Lives out of Texas is 5 hours, 22 minutes. Not a Runner Katie in Kansas is 5 hours, 22 minutes. Ooh, they're tied. Casey Lama is 4 hours, 56 minutes. Relentless KC is 4 hours, 13. Raising Cane 08 is 3 hours, 45. Then we've got, I fucked it all up.
You did, yep.
Oh no.
You really did.
I take all of that back.
See, I told you the Matrix was confusing.
This is really hard.
Because if you think about it, so what it did was it went down from 1 to 5, so Barbie Gal, and then number 6 was Pelladonna Sore Ass from KC, 12 hours and 8 minutes. 7 was Stacey Osterman from Mo for 8 hours and 47 minutes. Fit Queen Lisa from Overland Park, Kansas is 8 hours, 35 minutes. Michaela Bren, KC, 7 hours and 55 minutes. And number 9. Number 10, Rock Chalk Stelz. And then it does this weird fucking diagonal thing.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this table.
Printed. I'm so sorry.
This was not an Excel sheet.
We had a tie at 11th place with Kelsey Lifts from Texas for 5 hours and 22 minutes. Not a Runner Katie from Kansas, 5 hours and 22 minutes. Then at number 13, Casey Lama and KC, 4 hours and 56 minutes. Number 14, Relentless KC, 4 hours and 13 minutes. Number 15, Raising Cane from Maryville Mo, 3 hours and 45 minutes, right? Then 16 is Chiefs Chick, 816, KC, for 3 hours and 5 minutes. Katie Mack from Nebraska, 3 hours and 4 minutes. Pickleball Pello from Las Vegas, Nevada, 3 hours and 2 minutes. Inspired Jayhawk from KC, 2 hours and 56 minutes. And then rounding us out, we have two KC residents that tied for top 20, which was KC Stroke Warrior and Orange Girl 56, 2 hours and 53 minutes. Sorry, I should have read them.
Yeah,
I knew that
sorry.
Matrix
I'm
was
so
gonna fuck
sorry.
you up.
I'm so sorry, Peloton crew.
Now, before it got printed, though, it looked beautiful.
It did.
And then as far as, not only reaching out to us, obviously, on our fitness journey and being a part of the Peloton team, but where can they get our wonderful video short content and just knowing on what's going on in the podcast?
Facebook, Instagram, Threads at do.we.have.to. Do we have to a marriage podcast at YouTube? Do we have to .com? X is at do we have to pod. TikTok is at do we have to a marriage pod.
Love it.
I mean, we're
You
pretty
got it
much
all.
anywhere.
We're everywhere and anywhere, aren't we?
Yeah.
Final thoughts on today's show, honey. It was a deep one. Or
resilience
a rough
is resilience is found in the silence. Silence is where you need your sanctuary to be. And I think if you can be okay in the silence, you'll wake up stronger and better on the other side. And you don't have to be over. It doesn't have to be done. Waking up is brave enough.
Absolutely. Very well said. Yeah, I just think we all have to, learn to embrace the ugly, the difficult, because that's actually where the light is, right? It's facing the darkness to find the light. It's not avoiding the darkness and then just capturing the light. It is rising, choose to rise and not to fall. And I think that a lot of us don't realize how much control we have over that and how much we've allowed ourselves to fall into that. And I'll say that from somebody who's probably done that for 38 and a half, 37 years of his life. We have the ability, the capability. And I say that as like, we're going through plenty of things that fucking blow right now. But I don't like it. It's going to be okay, and we're going to get through it. And that's a mindset I would have never had. So I know I'm on the right side of things. So that is that embracing the ugly is okay. So I sound like everything's great. No, we're dealing with lots of shit. But it's going to be okay. We're going to get through it. And that's the difference. And we all have that control and choice. It just takes a lot of fucking work to get there. Trust me. And I'm still working on it every day. So do we have to, crew? Just keep working on it. Keep fighting.
Yeah.
I love you, Rosemary.
Love you, doll.
Wake up, I'm about to shake up every little thing, show you all that we can be. Come dance in my club.